Morning, folks. So, today I'm going to try and do something a little bit different. If you're watching this, I've probably pulled it off. If you're not watching it, I'm talking to myself. So, what's the plan? Well, I was on YouTube last night and I was watching Alicia from Belvoir Property in Hull. She does an amazing job of social media, your TikToks, all sorts of stuff. But I was watching on YouTube and she's got a video on there of a day in the life of a letting agent. So I thought, let's give it a try, because I did comment to Alicia that she's done a great job, but also I always forget to record. So when I'm out and about doing bits and pieces, I never think to actually record that and create a compilation of what goes on in a typical day of mine. So I'm on my way to the office now. It's about 8:45, and I've got until about 9:30 to catch up on some emails. And then I'm going to be, I've got a meeting with my accountant because we've got to finalise the year-end accounts. So we're going to do that. Then I'm planning, and I say planning because most days never go as planned. Most days always change, things happen, something will go on. I'll hear something in the office and I'll be like, I'll go, I'll do it, leave it to me, I'll sort it. And that's something I've got to get out of, because as the business owner, my time should be more strategic. And I am far more like that than anybody else in the team. But there's still times when I get involved in stuff I shouldn't. And sometimes they tell me. So that's the plan for this morning. Coffee when I get there, catch up on some emails, meeting with the accountant. Then I'm out to a property where we've got an inspection by the council later. This property was inspected before Christmas, still had some issues with the property in terms of fire doors, and the property we were given on behalf, or the landlord was given, should I say, 30 days to get the property up to scratch. So we're going to go there and just make sure everything looks okay for the council coming. And I'll film just to show you some of the little crazy things the council can pick up on an inspection. And this is a HMO license inspection. So I'll film that as well. If there's no tenants there, quite often in this property, there's tenants in the communal areas cooking, but hopefully we'll be good. And I'll film that as well. So that's the morning, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. See you later. Okay, it's now 10:10. Accountant's meeting's been done. I'm on my way to a couple of properties. First one I'm going to nip into. They said the oven's not working. It was switched off in the cupboard, but it's still not working. So I'm just going to go and have a quick look and check the consumer unit to make sure it hasn't tripped. Sometimes these ovens also have just a normal 3-pin plug on the end with a 13 amp fuse in. If that's the case, it's possible the fuse might have gone. So I'm just going to pop in and just check that. And then I'm going to another property, like I said earlier, just to have a quick checkup of a couple of bits that we've had done prior to a council visit this afternoon. Another one we had actually yesterday, I'll mention while I'm on, is we were doing an inspection, and where the main cable comes into the property under the stairs, it goes into a metal box, about that big, and there was black tar coming out of the box. Well, the black tar's put in to insulate the cables so that there's no shock. You can't get a shock off it. And obviously, if it gets warm, then the tar will melt, because that's what it does. So it started coming out of the box. So it was obviously getting warm. So we called out Northern Power Grid this morning. They've been to site, but they've said it's not an emergency now. It's not hot now, or it's not hot enough to be an emergency. So they're going to come back another time. So amazing what you see when you're out doing an inspection. We inspect properties monthly. You've got to keep on top of what's going on in HMO. You can't leave them, for any longer than a month before you have another visit. Even just checking the communal areas, you've got to keep on top of repairs, legislation, HHSRS, safety issues, etc. So that's why we do it monthly. So that's it. Right. I'm going to sign off, go and do these bits, and I'll let you know how I get on. Well, that was a quick one. Boy, it's bloody cold outside today. And it's 7 degrees, but I'm freezing. Should have put my coat on. Right, we just checked that one with the oven that's not working. The trip was actually tripped in the consumer unit. So I reset it, but it blew straight away. Even with the oven turned off at the fuse spare and the hob turned off at the fuse spare, the breaker's tripping straight away. As soon as I flick it on, it's tripping. So this is one for the electricians to have a look at. There might be something else on the circuit. The best way to deal with it is to unplug everything off a circuit and then put one thing on at a time, and whenever it trips, you know the last thing you put on is the thing that's faulty, causing an issue. But in this instance, it's just a cooker circuit, so there should only be the cooker and the hob, which are both electric. So with both those isolated, it's still tripping, so there could be an electrical fault. We'll get the electricians out to have a look at that. So on to the next one. Right, quick pit stop at the office for a wee. Now I'm back on the road. I'm going to Plum Centre to pick up a shower screen. Then I'm going to drop that off at the property. Then I'll be back to the office. Bit more office time, then off to the inspection with the council for 1 o'clock. So catch you in a bit. So that's the shower screen picked up and delivered to the property. I've now just had a message to say there's no hot water at another property. So while I'm out in the car, I'm going to go, save us getting any of the other staff to go, or a contractor if it's something simple. This actual property I'm going to, we've had hot water issues for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Keeps tripping. We've isolated one of the heaters. It's a very big cylinder hot water system, so it's not a gas system, it's electric. It's got two 12 kilowatt heaters in the tank. We isolated it. We found a cable that had just basically started to overheat. That was replaced, but that heater is actually disabled. So I'm just going to go back now and just double check and see if it's been re-enabled and it's the same one, or if it's the other one, which means it's actually not the heaters and it's something else on the circuit. So onwards and upwards, here we go. Right, we're at this property. We're now going to look at the water and see what the problem is. Now, this property is actually one of mine. So this is one we developed a year or so ago, about 18 months ago. We finished it. So let's have a look and see what we can see. I'm going to flip you around on the camera so you can see what's going on. Right, there we go, the cover's off. So you can see there, we've got 2 timers on. Now, one's top and one's bottom. The one on the right, the bottom one, was actually turned off because it had been previously isolated when we changed the cable. Looks like the electrician's come back and checked everything, but he hasn't put the timer back on. So it looks like one timer was on yesterday, and then obviously the next timer would have come on because they come on at alternate times. Hasn't come on because it was turned off. So I've just run the tap in the toilet and there is hot water there. So while we're here, we'll just give you a quick view of quick whistle top start. Whistle, how do you say that? Whistle stop tour. Right, this is the conservatory. You can see out there we've got a nice patio area, we've got private parking, bit of greenery on the wall. We have a couple of toilets there, communal toilets. We've got a gym. We've got some storerooms, pool table, co-working office space. There you go, somebody working in here. We've got cinema room with a big TV screen in here. They recline, them chairs are really nice. This is one of the kitchens with dining area. We've got some pots and pans here. One of the tenants is currently moving out, so that's why there's stuff all over. And then in there we've got a cinema. We've got a fire door, which we're going to close. So So this property as well has got infrared heating. So every part of the property is heated separately in the ceilings. So there we go. Looks like someone's been having a game of pool. And yeah, we'll call it a day. See you later. Okay, so just checked the property that's going to be inspected by the council this afternoon, and pretty much everything looks good on that one. The only potential thing I can see, without going in each of the rooms, disturbing the tenants, which would be twice today, because obviously we'll do that later with the council inspector. The only thing I could see was we've had the stairs boxed in because the gap between the spindles was over 100 millimeters, 10 centimeters. So this is to stop babies' heads getting stuck in the spindles, which is a bit crazy in a HMO because children are not allowed, so there are no children, so therefore the hazard isn't really there. Council inspector wants it, you've got to make a decision. Do you challenge them and make an enemy of them, or what? Or do you do what they've asked you to do? So we had the stairs all boxed in, but the contractor's boxed in the handrail because the handrail was also too low, so they've boxed in above the handrail, which now means that there's a flat piece of timber where the handrail used to be. It's the correct height, great. The spindles are boxed in, great. But I'm not sure whether he'll accept it without something like a proper handrail they can grab onto. So we'll see this afternoon when we do the inspection, and I'll let you know how we get on with that. Back to the office. Boy, am I knackered. So, what time is it? 10 to 5. Close the office at 4:30. So, just finishing a few bits off. I'm tired. Really tired. As you've seen, quite an eventful day. Good news is the council inspection went well. All the work's been signed off, and the council are closing the case on the property and awarding the licence for the HMO. So that's good news for the landlord. So I've just emailed the landlord to let him know that that's all finished with now, so he can relax and have a good weekend. Same for us. That means we've done a good job and met the deadline and shown we know what we're doing. So that's all good stuff. You always get on a Friday, you always get a few things that come up last minute. It's like tenants think, oh, it's the weekend, is there anything needs doing? And we had a report of a TV not working, and I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I need the TV working. So we actually went round, and it's a smart TV in the lounge, so we spent a good 15-20 minutes making sure it was connected to the Wi-Fi, trying to get it to work on like Netflix, things like that, and it wouldn't work. Couldn't get it to work. So we came back and we had a spare smart TV in the office. So we've basically given them that one. Something we won't charge the landlord for, most likely. It's a spare one we weren't going to use. So we've just whipped that over, connected it up, connected it to the Wi-Fi, working great. So they've now got TV for the weekend. They can get on their iPlayer and Netflix and all that stuff. So again, another good result towards the end of the week. So that's it. I'm about to pack up, and I just thought I'd whip on and just explain how that inspection went. And the rest of the day was pretty busy. I've just bought, and I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but I've worked in a number of big organisations in the past, and I always liked a wall planner where the date numbers were magnetic. You could move them along, so you use the same planner every year, and you just move the strip of numbers across. So if the 1st of January is a Tuesday, you put it on Tuesday, and then it follows on and so on. Sounds really sad, doesn't it? But I liked it, and I've just bought one. But they're 95 quid. 95 quid for a wall planner. What do we use the wall planner for? Is it business critical? Well, all we do is put our holidays on. It's a great visual aid, and I like it. So, splashed out, but it's going to last our lifetime, innit? Never going to have to replace it. Magnetic, it's dry wipe, like a whiteboard. It's made by Sasco, S-A-S-C-O. If you want one, if you're crazy enough to spend 95 quid on a wall planner, then that's the one you want. Sasco, 95 quid, Amazon, next day delivery. They are up for sale elsewhere, up to about 150 quid, which is mental. It's literally like a cardboard AO, I think it is, size. AO planner, covered in dry wipe stuff, magnetic, does a great job, but it's bloody expensive for what it is. It saves me buying a new one every year. So I've just put that up. But yeah, missed an appointment. I don't normally do appointments. And there was one in my diary. Because when it's dark, we don't like to send the girls out on appointments. And this particular one had been a bit strange last time. So we booked the appointment. Well, they booked it in my diary. I forgot. Got all carried away, fitting my bloody wall planner, and it was too late. It's across town, can't get through the traffic, so we're going to have to reschedule. So, big fail, actually. That's for the great win we had during the day today, this afternoon. I've actually ended the week on a fail. So, can't be helped, can it? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. We work hard, we do a cracking job. It just happens, doesn't it? Learn from it. Hopefully they'll learn not to put any appointments in my calendar, and then won't happen again, will it? So, serves them right in a way. Yeah, that's it. So, I've got a call coming in. So, I'm literally going to have to answer the call, and then I'm off home for the weekend. So, have a great time, everybody. Have a great weekend. Hopefully, you will have enjoyed watching what I get up to during the day. See you later. Well, I thought it was all over, didn't you? Just about to leave the office. Phone call, out of hours service, tenants reporting no power, no lights, no cooking, no internet. So it's Friday. I thought, right, I better go. So driving through traffic, get there. Power's on. Now, internet was off, so I reset a breaker. But they've obviously switched the cooker back on that I disabled this morning because the cooker's faulty. It's a built-in oven. So obviously they've switched it back on, blown the electric, tripped it, and then decided to call us and say they've got no power. So it's all reset. I've actually text messaged, SMS messaged all the tenants while I was at the property to tell them not to use the cooker. If they do, it'll blow the electric. And if they blow the electric, we're not coming out to reset it. And an engineer will be with them on Monday. So they can deal with not having a cooker for a couple of days. They've got a microwave. They tend to eat fast food a lot of the time anyway. But what would we do if it was our own house? You know, we'd be in the same situation. And that's what tenants don't always understand. They think you're there to be at their beck and call and solve issues instantly. You know what? Shit happens to us all, and sometimes things break, and you know you can't replace them straight away. So that's where we are. That's where the tenants are. They've been made aware, and it's one for Monday morning. First job on the list. So I am definitely going home now. So once again, have a great weekend.